Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy D Money, and today I'm gonna be giving you guys my opinion on part 1 of the Dragon Ball Legends Festival. So just jumping right into it, we're gonna start off with the characters. The main two characters, Vegito and Goku Black. I have to say, in terms of Vegito, I definitely think that we could have got a different release. In my opinion, the characters they released for part 1 could have been a lot better. In my opinion, I think I expected and a lot of other people expected is we were going to keep going with the synchro gauge mechanic that we got from Anniversary Part 1. But just giving us transforming Vegito and Goku Black, and right now I'm not talking about how good they are, I'm just talking about selection of characters. I definitely think they could have done a lot better. I think we could have definitely used another merge Zamasu just because we only have one in the game besides the free-to-play ones that no one cares about. So I definitely think that instead of Goku Black, they could have dropped the Synchro Gauge, fuse Zamasu. It starts off as Goku Black and Zamasu tag unit, and fuses into Merge Zamasu. And I definitely think that if they were gonna drop a Vegito, which, I mean, they love dropping Vegitos, and I think it would have been fine. But I think just having it be transforming, it just feels kind of old. I think the reason why a lot of people's hype level for this wasn't that crazy is because we've seen transforming units before. It's nothing really new. Like, we don't have a transforming Super Vegito, but after the anniversary, I definitely think that if they were gonna drop another Vegito, it was gonna be a Synchro Gauge one. We could have got Synchro Gauge Blue Vegito and Synchro Gauge Merge Zamasu, and I think that would have been a good part 1. But in terms of unit selection, that's my opinion. For what we got, it's not horrible. Goku Black and Vegito are definitely cool characters, but I think just because it's Legends and we've seen so many Vegito Blues and so many Goku Blacks, they've been good, they've been meta so many times. I think just seeing them again, it's not new. Their animations are cool. I think they did a good job with their animations for the most part. But in terms of character selection, I definitely think that there was something better they could have gone with. But like, I'd say out of 10, they could have got like a 9 out of 10 with both of the Synchro Gauge fusions. But I think it's like a 6. It's like a 5 or a 6. It's not a negative. There's definitely worse you can drop, but there's definitely a lot better as well. So in terms of the 1% units, because I'd only said the LFs, I think since they want to push the whole weapon builder tag, I think that we should have just got a Sword of Hope Trunks. But instead of the Sword of Hope, let me pull it up. Let me actually pull him up while I talk about him. Instead of the Sword of Hope, like the way this guy's an LF, but he only uses the Sword of Hope in his LF. So what if Legends dropped another unit like this, but he's just a 1%, but he uses the giant big Sword of Hope the entire fight. In his strike animation, his blue card could be like that kind of rush down he does on Merge Zamasu. And I think that would have been cool because it would have also been a weapon wielder. He could have buffed weapon wielder, future, and hybrids. And maybe we could have covered, depending on what they want to draw for part 2, but that's another story. But he could have buffed like Vegeta Clan, Future, and Weapon Wielder, and they could have had him buff for that tag. That would have been really good. And yeah, and in terms of the other 1%, we still don't have a Goasu in this game. They could have dropped the 1% Goasu, just so like we had a new character model, because we already have all these characters, but could have been a new character model. Goasu, easy God Key buff. Now he'd only be on God Key, he'd be like Supreme Kai, but I think he'd be a cool support. And yeah, I think that's what we could have got for part 1. But in terms of what we did get, in terms of Mai and where is she? Let me find her. In terms of Mai and Frieza and Cell, they're not bad choices. I think Frieza and Cell was a really creative one, just because we didn't expect it. I thought since the GT buffs were pretty much over that we weren't really gonna get any more GT units, but that's pretty cool. That's like a unique unit because rarely do we see main villains fight with each other. So just to have a unit like that is pretty cool. And then let me see, yeah. But I like Mai. I think since we haven't really got a good Mai since like year 1 of the game, the green one that's only a HP bench, I think it was a decent selection for Mai. So in terms of 1%, I think it could have been better, but I'm okay with what we got. Now in terms of how good the characters are, which is the biggest complaint about about most of these drops, I think Goku Black, from what we got from him in terms of Goku Black, I mean I know everyone wants him to be better, and I do agree that he could have been better, but I don't think he needed even a Go Frieza level buff. He just either he needs more raw defenses or a buff to his gauge, because Vegito is perfectly fine. Vegito, I feel like he was a good release, meta-wise, just because Majin Vegeta was terrorizing PvP. If you didn't have him, it was hell to play. And I think the Vegito solves that problem. But I think Goku Black was supposed to solve the Vegito problem because he's supposed to be a combo ender. So I think what they could have gave this Goku Black to make him a little bit better is just give him some card cost down, because that's Vegito's only weakness, and have his gauge just act like Ultra Broly. The second you fill it up, it just activates and it refills. I think that would have been perfect for him. Because what he has right now, it doesn't make him a defense type. He might as well just be a strike type that has a defensive gauge like UGB. Because he's not really defending that well. I use him more offensively than defensively. Once you use his gauge that first time and you don't get it activated, he's just a melee type. Might as well just be a melee type. And mine is only at 4 stars, but I've seen videos and stuff, and he doesn't really perform that much better unless you have a star advantage, which you don't want to rely on. But in terms of Vegito, let me go back to Vegito. Vegito's really good. As we all know, I think Vegito's like, if not the best unit in the game, the second best unit in the game. And yeah, I think they did a really good job with this kit. I think they gave him a clear weakness, and like they gave him a little loophole with this kit, which you guys have probably seen if you fought Vegito. Is that when you up his card cost, it really does damage to his combo, which like lays seeds for Bandai to be able to counter him in the future, which I don't think is bad. I think that the fact that we know that, and they probably know that, means that he's never going to be too broken, which is good for the game, because we could have had another second anniversary thing where Vegeta just combos forever, but I think they specifically left that out so that they can counter him in the future, which is good because he has a weakness. Because then when you're fighting a Vegito, you know that, okay, if I up his cost, his combo is going to hurt his combo a lot, because his unique gauge is really good. Let me see if I can find it in here. Yeah, right here. When unique gauge is full, he nullifies destroy card effects, reduce key, and auto counters. Like this is really good, but they specifically left out immune to like attribute downgrades or something, like cost up and down effects. So yeah, I think they did a really good job with Vegito and how they designed him. I think he's a really good character. In terms of I haven't really used Mai's on my future team, but I really don't use her that much. But she's pretty useful as just a red unit, just to keep around. Let me see. I keep losing these characters. Let me just filter it. But yeah, but I like Mai decently. No one expected her to be the best character in the game, and she's not. But I think she's useful. She plays her role. She does her damage. She has her ultimate, which is really cool. I like the animation. And yeah, she does a fine job with 1%. And then I think Frieza and Cell, I'm not sure how good they are meta-wise, but in terms of just like being fun to use, I think they're really fun to use. Let me see if I can find them. I think the fact that their tag unit is really cool. They're the first unit since Master Roshi to actually include that like ceiling effect. Are they in purple? Or do I have to? I don't know. I'm trying to pull them up. But I think they're just a really cool unit to have. Yeah, here they go. I guess they're only in the blue section of it. But yeah, this unit's really cool. They have the ceiling effect. My one complaint is once they seal someone away, they're pretty much just sack off fodder, because even though they're melee type, they don't do crazy amounts of damage. And there's definitely units who do a better job of what they want to do. But I think just as a filler unit in between, pretty good. I forget what their Z ability is. Let me check it. GT Future Android. So yeah, she's not really gonna be that useful in LOE unless she's in leader slot. But I think this is decent. Obviously, you can run them on the future team with everybody else. They have androids, which was a pretty good team, but ever since Anniversary, they haven't really been doing so well. And then GT, which is it's pretty good. It's not like top tier anymore since Gogeta came out, but GT is still a good team. So I think they're a pretty good release. So that's it for the characters. But now we have to move over to the banners, which is another one of my big problems with this anniversary. I mean, not anniversary, Legends Fest. So when we go to the banners, and this is almost my biggest problem with the game, two problems with the game that I'm going to address in this video. These banners, they're just not good enough besides Vegito. Like, we already know how Ultra banners are, where when you summon on an Ultra banner, you know that if you're not getting the Ultra, then you're not really getting much value, but usually the LF banners were the opposite. LF banners where you can just summon on an LF banner, and usually, even if you don't pull the LF, you still get something of value. And now, the definition of value is different for different players. Obviously, if you're a beginner player, then value is everywhere. But for most players who like play PvP and want to summon for good characters they can use in PvP at all ranks, there's not really that much value with these characters. Now, like if you're like I said, if you're rank 50, if you're rank 40, it's not really gonna matter because you can just use whatever pretty much any semi recent unit and you should be pretty good. But the value in this banner just isn't. It's just not really there. I'm not gonna critique the step up format because we already know this is we know what the format is by now. We know. Oh damn, voice crack. My bad. But yeah, this is gonna be unedited, by the way, just straight raw me talking about the game. But yeah, Vegito, great unit. Obviously, great unit. My pretty decent unit, new 1% unit. She's probably the best red. Actually, debatable. It depends. If you're running Blast Future, she's definitely the best character. But if you're running Strike Future, which isn't the best because most of the characters are aged out, then you don't want to use her. But she's a good character. She's definitely runnable. But my main problem is just that, besides the oversaturation of units that obviously cannot be used, all these people who are not good anywhere above like rank 30, even in rank 30, you probably still get stomped with them. It's just the LF selection because we're at the point in the game. We're not in the Zenkai era anymore. This isn't year 1. 99% of the good units in the game are LFs and Ultras. So we need better LFs than this, alright? I'm going to go through the list. These guys right here, fusing Gogeta unit, they're decent, okay? I'm not gonna be crazy. Some people will say this unit is trash. They're not trash. They're definitely usable. But from what we've gotten from Anniversary up to now, could have filled a lot more spots. This is the Legends Festival. This isn't a regular monthly LF banner. These units are good. These units are mid at best, and I wouldn't say they're usable anywhere above like rank 50, rank 60, because like they weren't even that good when they dropped. Like right after boosts, no, you really don't see them. Nobody runs Universe Rep anymore, and I don't know. I guess it's cool because they were on last festival, so they get a pass. But like these guys, like it's just this LF selection is not good. I think you could have easily put like, let me see. So we got Vegito up here, right? So like, okay, what units have we gotten since festival? We've gotten Triku as an LF. We got Broly as an LF. We got Omega as an LF. And I forget who else. I have the game open. Let me look. Because there's definitely better units that we could have had on this banner. Even pre-anniversary. They could have had. I mean, Gotenks is pretty recent. But my main problem with this game is the value of banners. Because if you're not pulling Vegito, who are you really summoning for it? If you pull this Trunks, his Zenkai is Buns. It's like it's mid. It's not Buns, but it's mid. Like nobody's running this Trunks and actually like really trying to win. Like once you get up to rank 65, you're not seeing this guy and anyone's just seriously trying to win. This guy's aged out. This guy's decent with his platinum equipment, but like he's nowhere with like the top characters in the game. This guy is garbage and this guy is garbage. And like both of these guys are on other banners. If you want Vegito, if you want this guy, they're on like Master Pack summons, they're on LF Guaranteed summons. People are able to get these units without having to throw them onto these banners because there's just so much better units. We could have had LF Baby on this banner. We could have had Goku and Bardock on this banner. We could have had so many at least better units. Even though like those units aren't crazy either, but at least they're recent. Nobody gets any hype out of like not any non-new players not getting any hype out of this banner. If you're not playing Vegito, it's just not a good banner. But even if we go to the Goku Black banner, which people say is better, like okay, Goku Black. Let's PvP aside, like his actual ranking, like top 10 ranking aside, he's a good unit. He's definitely flawed, but he's a decent unit just to have. If you pull him, he is a new character that also buffs. So like we're not gonna say the new characters are fine because they're new. That's different. Like value just from playing with a new unit and having fun is good. Most of these 1% are aged out. You don't really use them. They're like second options on their teams. Like no one's really running Android 16 on Androids. Even if you are running Androids, you're not running Android 16 unless you're like doing Proud Battle. Raid Shenron, if you have Baby, then you don't run him, and if you're in Proud Battle, then he's like a secondary option. But no one's really running 99% of the units. Like most of these want 1%, so they're not Zenkais, and they just don't have any value. And then if we come down to the LFs, let's see. If we come down to the LFs, please can I use my mouse, please? There we go. All right. Let's see. We are down here. It's like a little bit better. Like, they have Nappa, but if Nappa came out post Baby, so I don't understand why on Vegito's banner why we couldn't just have Baby on that banner, because Nappa came out after Baby, so that doesn't really make any sense. And Baby would have provided more value because he's on Saiyans. He's just even like screw it having to have correlation with the unit that is actually dropping. Just give us value, bro. No one's gonna care if Baby's on Vegito's banner. What do they have to do with each other? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, Goku Black drops, so let's drop powerful opponents. But no one's actually going to run any of these characters with Goku Black. Not unless they get a Zenkai. The only decent unit on this banner, units, are Omega Shenron. He's decent on GT. But you're not going to run Omega Shenron and Goku Black together unless you're running on a powerful opponent, which no one really runs that. And then we have Half Corrupted Zamasu, which is only good if you have a Zenkai. And he's really good on Zenkai. This is the only unit that you'd summon off this banner as of right now that you'd actually run with Goku Black. Everybody else is just either a glorified Zenkai buff or it just isn't good enough to actually run. So like you could have if you're not gonna put Baby on, not better put Baby on this banner because people might actually run that version of powerful opponent. But that doesn't make any sense. Like Frieza, this Frieza is buns. This Goku Black is buns. This Cell is mid at best, probably still buns. These guys need a Zenkai desperately. Please Zenkai these characters. Instead of Trunks, who should have got this Zenkai, would have been amazing for the game. And then we have Nappa, who's like mid at best, and Omega Shenron, who's decent on his team. Like, once you pull the feature units, that's it. There's no more value in this banner. We just had Gotenks' banner, who actually had a value. I think he had what? Let me go back, cause I can literally just pull it up. We just came off of Gotenks' banner. See, where was it? Should be very recent. Okay, we're just gonna go to every Zenkai on the planet. But Goku, his Gotenks' banner, literally had, I think he had both. He had fusing Super Vegito. I think he had Baby, like actual value, actually characters people can run and want to use. But no, instead we're gonna drop the mid that no one uses anymore. And just characters that are garbage. Like, I found myself summoning on this banner. Still got shafted. But, like, he used the most valuable character I could see out of everything else I could summon for after I pull all the units. Like, Gotenks' banner right here. This is actual value. It's not, like, crazy value, but Gotenks is really good. I don't really know about these guys. I've never used them or seen them in PvP. I'm going to keep it 10 stacks. This character is good. Still really good. This character is good. Decent or good. But I like Baby a lot. And I think a lot of people didn't summon from him initially because of how they thought of him, but I think he's really good now. And then we have Pycon, who's really aged out. He's pretty aged out, but he has some use just because he's a revival unit. He can take a rush. He's not really holding up that well defensively, but it's a cool unit. Like I would want to pull him just to have him. I think he's really cool. These guys got a Zenkai and they're pretty decent. Kid Buu has a Zenkai and he's really decent. And then this guy's buns, but he got a unique, but he's still kind of buns. And then Evil Boo is pretty good. Shin's pretty good, and then everyone else is just kind of either mid or garbage. But this is actually a decent banner because only LFs I could tell you would pull and kind of be disappointed. There's like this guy and this guy. Everybody else you can literally run in PvP. This is a good banner right here. This is more of a festival banner than the actual festival banners we got. But yeah, that's the banners for me. Now, my other problem, what I think most people have problems with, is just the content of this anniversary. What am I looking at right here? Now, this week actually made up for it a lot, but it didn't completely make up for it. For the first 2 weeks of this festival, there was literally nothing to do but a free-to-play Trunks that realistically, even though his art is really cool, no one's really like running free-to-play Trunks seriously in PvP. And then some Zenkais that like, okay, this Zenkai is really good. He's pretty good in PvP. He's not really good. He's like mid or really good, but I put him at he's like a 6 or 7 out of 10 release, but he's still better than 99% of the stuff we've gotten. But there was just nothing to do for the first 2 weeks of the festival besides raid, which once you get to CC, and maybe the erasers isn't really like raid isn't it's content, it's cool, but once you clear it out for most players, it's like if I don't summon the character that I want in this game, and I run out of CC to get, which is crazy that you can even run out of CC. That's a whole nother problem that I have with this game. what am I supposed to do? There's literally nothing to do in this game if you don't have the new characters. You're gonna go into PvP and just get annoyed by fighting Majin Vegeta and Vegito Blue, Transform Vegito Blue. And you go to events and there's like no events to do. There's literally nothing to do. There was nothing to do for the first 2 weeks of this festival, which I think that's unacceptable, because this is supposed to be the time everybody waited for. This is when you're supposed to be saving your biggest heavy hitters, your funnest events for, and there's nothing to do. They just dropped Challenge Battle this week. They announced this during the reveals and stuff, and it just dropped this week. This should have been dropped day one. In terms of the raid is fine. Everybody likes to do raid, even though you clear it out in 5 seconds. I think it should still give 1000 CC, but whatever. Champion bonus is really good. It's not really content. You just kind of do it once and then that's it. You get your CC, you get out. Free to play unit. Trunks is he's not that bad, but no one's like seriously running him, but you can run him. And he has really cool art. I do want another Rage Trunks in the game. But yeah, this is like mid. This is like 5 out of 10 release. This is kind of nothing. People don't even really need to do this anymore unless you want to get old free-to-play units just for collector's purposes. It's not really that valuable. But the 60 erasers is really what I do it for. Not even the Z power or these medals. I just do it for the erasers. This guy Zenkai is really good. And it's another thing. Rush Battle, they decrease the amount of CC you get from it. So it's like, if the Zenkai is mid, it's just really just a nothing release. Like I do them just to get the CC and just to have the Zenkai. But most of them I don't even Z power them up. I mean, I Z power them, soul boost them to get their Zenkai stuff. I just get it for the CC and get out. And then this Vegeta, I heard he's pretty good with Majin Vegeta, but I don't have him, so I haven't ran him yet. But you know, it's just a couple more CC to get. And then Festival, I did these. This is pretty cool if you don't have all the Zenkais or if you need some erasers. I usually use these for erasers because I have all the Zenkais I really need. And then this is just standard stuff that's always here. But there just wasn't much to do. Like, I think my problem with this game, and especially now because this is supposed to be a celebration, is there should always be something for players to do. Always something to work towards. And me, at this stage of the game, as a player who's been playing the game for so long, I find the problem with there being just nothing to do sometimes. You log onto the game and there's, like, I can grind PvP. That's fine, but like eventually I get to a point where it's like I don't want to grind PvP anymore. I've been playing it for the last 2 hours and now I'm just like, okay, what's there to do now? What now? So you go to events, there's no events. We got Hoi Poi, which is pretty cool, but you clear that out in 2 seconds. You just do 500 energy and boom. And yeah, that's really it. But I don't know. In terms of this part 1, I've seen so much better from Legends, especially from festivals. Festivals are really special to me because usually festivals are my favorite times in the game. We think back to like 2020, 2021, and obviously like that nostalgia plays a big factor, but I think there were definitely more events to play. I think the character releases were a lot more, like, they had a lot more to work with because they had less characters in the game, but like I said, we had Super Vegito in the game already, we had Gogeta, but they found a way during Anniversary Part 1 to still make it hype. Even though it's the same character, a new mechanic or something made it cool. And I think that the same level of innovation for a Part 1, especially of Legends Festival, could have made it so much better. Because the thing about this game that just trumps all is even if the events are garbage, even if the meta is trash, sometimes the characters will just carry the game. Like, in 5th anniversary, like, there was, like, actually, no, not even 5th anniversary. Where can I, like, UI Goku dropping in 2020, that's a better example. UI Goku dropping in 2020 for Legends Festival, no matter where the events were, just the fact that UI Goku was in the game could carry it. And obviously, it was the first UI, like, obviously, that's going to be hype. But I think that more things in this game, like, above all else, is just the character releases, man. I think that if the character releases were just a little bit stronger, it could have done them a lot more justice. But the characters mixed with the banners not even being that good, mixed with it not being a lot to do in PvP, and not a lot to do in PvE, I think they gotta clutch up for Part 2. Because what I'm seeing right here is like a lot of people saying this feels like another regular month, maybe with a couple more Zenkais and another Zenkai, but it does kind of really feel like a regular month, maybe like an episode campaign or a Sagas campaign, but it doesn't really feel like festival yet. And Part 2, hopefully they have something cool saved, because it's like last year they dropped the Legends Original, spice it up. Hopefully they drop something cool, something unusual, something, maybe a new mechanic. that spices it up. Because right now, it's not really feeling like festival. It says it. I see the festival logo everywhere, but my heart and my mind and that Legends player in me doesn't really. The festival hasn't really like kicked in yet. So yeah, that's my opinion. If I had to rate this festival out of 10 as of right now, I probably rate it like a maybe like I give it a 5. And I know I've been kind of negative during this video, but there are good things about the festival. Like I said, Vegeta's really fun to use. Mai's really fun to use, and Goku Black, he's fun to use. He's just flawed. But I think the animations of the characters are really cool. From what they still had to do, I think Vegito's like Legends original LF is really cool. Goku Black's animations are really cool. I just think that the selection of characters and the fact they have new mechanics is a little iffy, but the characters animations from what we got, from what they could have given us from Goku Black and Vegito, it's good. I think this week of events is really cool. They given out a lot of CC this week at least, maybe this week, but yeah. And then in terms of the banners, I can't really give you guys many positives about the banners. The banners are not that good if you don't pull the new units. Tri Arena was really cool. I forgot to touch on Tri Arena. I like Tri Arena. That's pretty cool. And then the rewards are pretty cool. The plays are pretty cool. All the regular Legends Festival stuff that we usually get, it's always good. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I haven't really felt that feeling, that Legends Festival feeling that I've gotten from 2020, 2021, 2022, even 2023. 2023 Part 1 gave me that feeling. Maybe not as strong, but Beast Gohan and Evo Ken, that had me hype. Really hype. And I haven't really been feeling that same level of hype from this Part 1. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Legends Festival Part 1. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd really give it a 5. And, yeah, man. This is kind of raw, so anyone who's here at this point, I really appreciate you. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in Part 2.